So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel, Yoleno TV, and today being the 24th of August 2022, I'd like to welcome you again to your favorite segment, the Big Point Analysis. So ladies and gentlemen, as usual, I always take you through a recap of the previous analysis, and in our last analysis that we posted, a video posted at around 10 p.m. was regarding we did a brief analysis on John Githongo's expose, actually the affidavit. So in this analysis, we like to go we'd like to dig deep into that affidavit also, and we have a video that is going to lead us somewhere in this analysis for today. So before we delve into the analysis of a warning that CJ Maraga posted in 2017, and it was directed at Chebukati and the commission, that if you don't do the right things the right way, we will always nullify the election. Now, before we get to that point, you look at Githongo's affidavit, then I think you must have by now known that there is trouble in paradise. So I would like you to listen to a certain video. If I'm not wrong, then John Githongo is interviewing one of those perceived hackers. He's a white man. You can't see the face because, you know, he's actually clad in a hoodie attire, so you will not see the face. But the words in that video mean a lot, and they should prove a point, and they should prove to you that our sources are legit. Then I'll also share with you this tweet from Pauline Njoroge, because the video, the content is that video, and the contents of Pauline Njoroge's tweets, of course, even some of those other Twitter handlers are posted almost the same, but the contents are very, very important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen in.
Here, we are looking at here. Can you tell us what we are looking at here?
Okay, this is from 34A from Baringo County, Jati constituency. So on this particular form, you can see that the votes for candidate Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto. Then when you come down here, you can see that the presiding officer comments, we had one rejected ballot paper with serial number PR 11082. Then this figure has been changed to 535. And then also on the stamp, you can see that there are two stamps over here. Yes.
And the reason it has two stamps is because one of those stamps is yours?
Yes.
Which means that it's a fake stamp?
Yes.
So this is a fake Form 34A?
Exactly.
And this form is currently on the public portal?
Yes.
And these are the ones that have been uploaded
Yes.
to the public portal?
Yes.
Thank you. You are part of a team of 56 people.
Yes.
You said you are based in Karen,
Yes.
led by Ole Itumbe, Dennis Itumbe. What was the mission of this team of, you are all computer specialists?
10 of us.
10 of you are computer specialists.
Yes.
What was your mission?
Mission was to get William Samoei Ruto to power and to defeat the dynasties, because for a long time, from what Dennis Itumbe was telling us, is that we needed freedom to liberate ourselves from the dynasties. So that way freedom is coming.
How did you go about doing that? Here we can see on the screen the IBC.
The Accreditation Management System, AMS.
So you were able to enter the IBC system, or how did it work?
Yeah,
Yes. Now, Form 34Cs did not tally with Form 34As and Form 34Bs. So what was the problem? That is a question that Chebukati himself will have to answer. Because, by the way, before we go further, Have you noticed that William Samoei Ruto is so concerned about this case to an extent that he's sourcing for so many lawyers, like he even had to go for Kivuta Kibwana, but he realized that I don't know where the source of this worry is, because if you look at this case carefully, then realize that the case is about Chebukati. So this time around, Raila, I think, has strategized another way of dealing with Chebukati. And in that case, if you look at the details again, you find that there is a case whereby Chebukati, Raila is pushing for the Supreme Court to bar Chebukati from holding any public office. There are a couple of caps that have been outlined that Chebukati has gone against. So the law is very clear and the judges will have to go by the law, however limited the time is. So let's come back to our analysis. And in a nutshell, CJ Maraga's 2017 warning entails this: adhere to due diligence or else, that is directed at Chebukati, adhere to due diligence or else this court will forever nullify the presidential election. A strong warning. So Chebukati tried to play smart because of Maina Kiai's the verdict of Maina Kiai's petition regarding Form 34As was that the Form 34A should not be altered. So this rigging took place at the polling station so that they could upload the wrong results, and if the wrong result do not meet their projected margins, then they will pull this Form 34A, edit it and repost it back. Ladies and gentlemen, from the time we started exposing these details, we've been consistent. And if you go through the videos, you realize that we have been consistent. And most of these things now are beginning to show. So Chebukati will go down in history, ladies and gentlemen, in history, as an electoral commission chief who succeeded in bungling elections which ended up being nullified not once but twice, for the simple reason that Chebukati hates Raila. So why is Chebukati hating Raila this much? I keep asking myself that question. Could it be that Raila took Chebukati's wife, or what's his hate all about? Could it be there's a deal gone wrong somewhere? We don't know about that. Maybe time is the best explanation to everything. I think Chebukati will have to add in his resume two things. One, has to having systematically engaged foreigners to rob us our freedom. In that video that I've shared on Githongo Expose, that hacker is trying to give us details that they were 10, and they were contracted to hack the IBC system and to replace some of those forms that did not meet their expectations. Because the idea is that I expect 10 votes from this region. If I get 2 votes, I should be able to tamper with that form so that I can get the threshold, because my threshold is to meet 50% plus 1 vote. So I don't want to go in a scenario where by now I will get 49%, 0.9999, because that will not make me meet that threshold. I don't want to be in a scenario where I get 50% and I don't get the +1. So I think there could have been a reason why some of these votes were being altered in the forms. Second, as having ignored his other commissioners by assuming to be the only commissioner in IEBC, because I think that was demonstrated in the second last day of the vote tallying process at Bomas of Kenya. That was demonstrated because if the massive walkout of the 4 IEBC commissioners, and we've talked about this in most of all our analysis, if the massive walkout was as seen by Kenyans was something to go by, then Chebukati ought to have been concerned and probably delayed the announcement and called the 4 commissioners so that they could reach to a consensus as to whether this vote should be should go to a runoff, or this vote we should just declare the winner as is by simply doing a majority voting. But even if they are to do a majority voting, like the Supreme Court, the way the Supreme Court does its own voting, it always goes to the majority. That's why in the 2013 William Mutunga verdict, the majority took the day, and the day was to affirm the win, and Uhuru Kenyatta became the president. But in 2017, majority ruled against Chebukati, because in 2013 he was warned, but in 2017 he did the same. So the verdict was that nullify the election. So now the case of 2022 is a repeat of 2027, but in a smart way, and this thing has gone further by, you see, like the case of Akombe deciding to go into exile was shocking to us, but that's what happened. But this time round, Chebukati has been beaten in his own game, and you see, the dissenting commissioners are still around. None of them has gone into exile because they are determined to win this case and provide justice to the people of the Republic of Kenya. So I wonder, if the Supreme Court normally does voting, then who is Chebukati not to agree to that? Is he the only commissioner in that commission? Ladies and gentlemen, let me take a sip. In the affidavit that John Githongo posted at the Supreme Court, well, it was first petition, it talked about 56 hackers who were mandated to edit the forms and have them posted back to IBC portal, because just like I said in our channel, the missing KOOME kit was never found. Chebukati has never given us a status on that missing KOOME kit. Some 34As were posted from external IP addresses, maybe from the Smartmatic team, because those are the people that we know who enter this country illegally with materials which were IBC material. And you saw the DCI, the way the DCI followed this matter, smoked these people, and the details came into the public domain. So all these previous events, when brought together, give us something like a movie. I mean, this is like a movie that has started from the time when Chebukati decided not to be part of the Electoral Preparedness Commission forum that was co-chaired by Martha Koome. That time until now, at the time when now the case is at the Supreme Court, this is now the end, almost towards the end of this session. So the main event was now the bungling of the election that Chebukati took over. Ladies and gentlemen, personally, I'm positive about the 7 judges declining unanimously to affirm Ruto's win, for the sole reason that even CJ Martha Koome already reiterated what the former CJ Maraga said, that if due diligence is not applied, I will nullify that election when it's brought to our courts. That was a second warning to Chebukati, and as usual, Chebukati decided to disobey the orders. If due diligence is not followed, I will nullify the elections. Ladies and gentlemen, I always love to post my closing remarks, and my closing remarks are meant at making sure that we stay united as one. Your neighbor should be your friend, should be your brother, should be your sister. That's my request, ladies and gentlemen. Treat your neighbor as your friend, as your brother, as your sister, as your mother, as your father, and that we should continue coexisting as one, because we are one Kenya, and we cannot afford to hate each other this time, because we've come of age, we've come from far. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're a first-time viewer, take a moment and subscribe to our channel. If you're a regular viewer or who is not subscribed, please support our channel by subscribing. You can share our video widely, and I'd like to request you to be safe and stay blessed until we meet again.